Hey there, Johnny Daniel, your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. How are you? It is Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Guess what we're doing? Yep, live. So, I have a question for you. So, when I go to the gym, I always hear this stupid song and it talks about wobbling. Do you wobble, wobble? All this stuff. So, here we go. Ready? Tribute to that? No. But it makes me think of that. So we're going to do a wobbler card tonight, and then we're also going to do a slide card. Now, it can be also called a tumble card. Unless it gets stuck, of course. But there we go. So, all right. So that's what we're doing tonight. Let me finish getting set up so I can see everything, and we'll get to going. No problem. So, let's see here. Let's see. What happened? Yep, we're good. Okay. So, what's everybody doing tonight? You good? And all that fun stuff? I hope so. All right. Now that my computer's up, I might be able to function. Well, we're not quite there, but we'll get there. So, alrighty. So I guess we should get to creating, right? So let me flip you around and we'll get going. So, there we go. Hey, Penny. How are you, honey? All right. I'm trying to get things set. I bumped a couple things and had to rearrange a few things, so give me just a moment here. We'll get it though, I promise. So let's see. There. Still need to scooch this way. Still need to scooch this way. Good enough. Okay. So for tonight, if you want the DIY kit for these two cards, for one, if you're watching tonight and you hit the chat like Penny has, that will give you double the cards this week. So instead of 2, you're going to get 4, 2 of each of these cards. Okay? So there you go. All right. So we're doing a wobbler card and we're doing this slide card. Got it? Let's see, will it go on its own? This one's being a little pesky, so we'll have to fix that on the second one. But to get the DIY kit, you have till Sunday, stampingwithjohnny.com/DIY kits. Just that simple. So we probably should get to creating, huh? So Miss Penny, since you're on with me, my dear, which do you want to do first? Do you want to wobble first or do you want to slide first? Let me know. As I'm getting all my pieces and parts and everything else, okay? So let's see here. So wobble or slide. All right, so if you do an order, not the DIY kit, but if you do a Stampin' Up! Order, $50 or more, you're going to get loose daisy embellishments. And those are also going to be used next week, so you'll be able to see them. Let's see. Yes, we'll still have a couple more days. FYI for you, the April highlights are out. Some things to note, I have 4 dates available for hosting. This April 30th could be for the new catalog because the new catalog starts May 2nd. So FYI for you. Let's see. Club order bonuses, normal farmers market, Elks Craft Fair, team gathering on the 5th. Landers, club order bonus, rummage sale and catalog open house. That's going to be from 10 to 3 here in 29 at the studio. 10 10 to 3 at any time. There's nothing that's going to be time specific for that. But I will tell you, it's until 3, not show up until at 3, okay? Just for your info. And then last but not least, the open day session on the 29th. So we've got all that. And then online exclusives. Why do I show you this? Because the embossing folders I am using to do the project tonight are these basic 3D embossing folders, set of 3, and I will show them to you in person because on the flyer is not good, and I will say that, but it's 3 3D embossing folders for $30, and it's about the same price as normal because our embossing folders, okay, slide, thanks, Pen. Our 3D embossing folders are anywhere from 10 to 12. I think the most expensive I've seen has been 14. So it's about comparable. So, but that is what we're using. Okay, so for the tools tonight, we are using the little window guy out of Cracker and Treat box dies. That's this guy that we've used many, many, many times. But it's a perfect little window if you put it down and then put it down again. It's a perfect little window to make our little track that we need. So that's awesome. Okay. All right. So let me button that up. Okay. So we've got that. Then the basic 3D folders. There's 3 of them. So this first one is like a star pattern. I've done this in the past, not recently though. So star pattern. And then this one is, I call this my loose plaid or crosshatch. Okay. And then last but not least is this bubble polka dot. Kind of reminded me of jelly beans. I would not recommend doing this in red. I did it once in red and it kind of looked like measles. So just FYI, you might want to have some other plans. That's all. All right. So we're using the Easter Bunny photopolymer stamp set. I assume by now everybody that wants it has it because it's close to Easter. So I'm going to show you a couple things with it. If you do not have this set, when you get the DIY kit, I'm not punching out the bunnies because they don't have a die. So what I'm going to give you is a scrap piece of paper. If you do not have a bunny, you can easily do a large flower, a dragonfly, anything that's at least about 1.5 inches in diameter at some point, okay? And I'll explain why later. So that's the deal, okay? So Penny wants to do the slide. We're going to do the slide. So that means I'm going to separate off and I'm going to put that out of the way and this out of the way. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get going. So if you order the DIY kit, you're going to get all the pieces and parts for this, which means you're going to get a scrap piece of white for this, for this, for this, for this. You're going to get the punch out circles for that. Already done, ready to go. You're going to get these Highland Heather mats already embossed. And then you're going to laugh at me, but you're going to get 2 cents from me, literally. You're going to get a few dimensionals. All you're going to need is Stampin' Seal, a Highland Heather, ink pad, and the bunnies. Okay, so that's what we're doing. All right, so let's get started on this slide because that's what Miss Penny wants. So in the kit, you are going to get 2 card bases, one for the second card. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Okay, and then we've got a piece of Highland Heather that's been cut to 4 by 5 1/4. Now, here's the thing. If you want these bubbles, for lack of better term, I can't really think of a better one. If you want them more pronounced, this one's a tiny bit more pronounced. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. And here's why. I emboss this and then I cut. So it's been flattened out a tiny bit. So if you don't want that, cut this first and then emboss it. Okay? So it doesn't get flattened out. But, you know, so be it, right? So here's your card base. Here's your mat. We're not doing anything with this at the moment. What we are going to do is we're going to work on our little scrap piece of white cardstock, and I am going to be stamping my bunny and my my words. Okay, so let's see. I've already done Happy Easter. I've already done Easter treat. I think I'm going to do enjoy all the little moments this time. So get my block out here and enjoy all the little moments. I have to see what it kind of looks like so I can pull it, because honestly it's hard for me to read them. It's just that simple. I don't know if you have problems seeing them, but I do. If you peel them, here's a tip for you though. The newer ones have this nice black font behind it. So if you are having trouble going, what does that say? You can peel it like halfway and kind of see the end of it. And that usually is enough of a cue that you can figure it out. So, all right, so I'm stamping in Highland Heather. And I'm just doing a enjoy all the little moments. Even if you're tripping and falling, evidently, huh? Since we're tumbling on this card or sliding. Yeah. So, all right, so we're going to pull that off. Dry your block. That's what that scrap is for. Drying the block. If you stamp off, after you stamp, you will not have as much of a problem with as much ink going into your pad. I'll explain in just a second. Physically, I'll explain. All right, so I've inked this up, and this guy's gonna get stamped here. Cute, cute, right? Okay, so what I mean is, you ready? Before I clean it, if I stamp it off some, that ink goes into the paper and not into my scrubby pad. And so there's not as much ink going into that scrubber, which means, guess what? You're going to be able to sit here longer without having to clean it. That's a good thing. So, how do you clean it? You clean it. Okay, there's not a die, so we're cutting this out. You clean it by, I rinse mine in warm water. And then when you got to deep clean it, I grab an old clean toothbrush and I grab a dot of Dawn dish soap on both sides and I scrub them until there's no more ink. And then I rinse it really, 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 really well. Let it air dry overnight. Call it a day. And then we get to stamp some more. So, I don't know if you guys remember when we first got these pads. They had a white fuzzy instead of a black. And oh my gosh, they were some interesting colors. We'll just say that, huh? So, times have changed, thank heavens, because I'd be a little scared to see mine after all the classes and stuff I've done. Whew, they might be a little hectic, huh? So, all right, so I had to do two fun cards today because today is my birthday. So I was like, man, I gotta have something fun to do, which is why I was late announcing it, because I was like, man, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I had to have something fun though. So here we are. It's just that simple some days, huh? So, all right, so enjoy all the little moments. And for those of you that have raised kids, you know that those little moments go darn fast. So there we go. Okay. So there's our pieces and parts. Now we got to do the slide part. And you know what? I forgot to go get pennies. All right, get a drink real quick. I'll be back in 2 shakes. I did get your birthday card from you. Thank you. I was going to post them tomorrow. So, I did though. Thank you, Pen. I forgot my 2 cents. Yeah. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I just couldn't place it. All right, so here we are. Here's our dimensional. You are going to see how there's a flat side, or if you turn it a flat side, whatever, it don't matter, right? But you're going to go flat side to flat side, and you're going to cut off the 2 points on the side. So I'm going to cut from the corner to the corner. Do you see? And then I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to cut from the corner to the corner. And here's why I do this. Because if you have those corners still, they are going to stick and not allow that to turn. Okay? So I'm going to grab one more. So if I have this going through here, do you see how it's like the same width? The same width? So those points are going to catch. That's why you got to cut them off. So you just got to, and we're going to go 2 layers deep. I only did 1 originally, and I think it's not deep enough to make it slide. I think that's the why. And if it is, you know, if it is too tall, then we can always take one off. But I'm pretty sure, because I didn't do it too, I think that's why it's not sliding very well, shall we say. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to pick which side you want up. I've got this side going up. And you're going to put your penny with your dimensional going this way, so it really doesn't catch until you put your other one on top. Okay, and let's see if this is going to work. Is this going to work? Or is it too tall? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so you can either do it 1 or you can do it 2. It's up to you. So there you go. Okay, now you can either do glue dots on here or you can do another dimensional. That's up to you. I really want mine to stand up, so I'm putting a dimensional. It's just that simple. Now make sure you have enough space to not see any of the background. So for me, I'm going to go mid to lower body. Now this should, cool, right? Okay, now we have to provide the space for it to still do all that when it's flipped over. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a whole bunch of dimensionals. You can also use the foam adhesive strips, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's really not enough space. They're not high enough and you can't stack them. So I wouldn't recommend it. So, all right. So when you put your dimensionals on, you're going to do your entire side and you're going to do here and here, but you got to make sure when you do it that your penny is not going to go where it's sticking. Okay, so you just got to make sure of that. All right, so we're going to peel all these guys off, and I'm going to go 2 layers deep because I want to make sure I got enough room to maneuver. Before, on my sample one, I forgot about that and it wasn't deep enough. We'll just say that, okay? So 1, 2, 3. I might need another adhesive sheet. I sure do. All right, let's see what we got in the drawer, huh? Hold on. I'm running out of everything today. Do I have more? Nope, sure don't. Good thing I just got some more in, huh? Literally, like today. Okay. It's funny to me that I go through cycles where I have all these lives and I have no problems at all because I'm not out of anything. And then it seems like it goes in cycles. And it's like, once I start running out, it's like everything goes at the same time. It's crazy. I think last week was a Stamp and Seal refill. And this week is the dimensionals. But, yeah, teach his own, huh? Now, I do have to say something, though. Alright, because I'm doing this project, I don't want to use the borders, but don't throw this away. You can still use all these sides, okay? Just not for this project. But normally, not a problem at all. So, alright, so let's see how this comes together. So yeah, I'm going to be posting my birthday cards. Probably not tonight, but hey Pam, how are you, honey? Probably not tonight, but shortly. We'll just say that. So, normally I'm really good about posting, but I'll be honest with you, I've been tired. So this has got a slide. Do you see how that guy's sliding and tumbling? Kind of cool, right? Okay, so now we're going to put this guy down. Now this is where I can use my borders really well, huh? So I'm going to hit this, hit this. So I haven't been tired for no reason. I've been tired because I've been doing a zillion projects, and I drove down to see my daughter on Monday, and I'll be honest, it wiped me out. So it's just how things go some days. All right, so there's our slide card. Oh, come on. Do not get caught. There's our slide card. Okay. And then when you mail it, or if you give it and put it in an envelope, just make sure his ear is not sticking out the side. Okay? So you might want to have it more on this side. I don't know. But you hear what I'm getting at. Okay? So there's the slide. Now we're going to do the wobble. Alright, so same thing as before. You're going to get a card base, 4 1/4 by 11, and then scored at 5 1/2. I'm just going to do this. So that way it's done. Now, there's a couple different ways to do this wobble, okay? Now I'm going to yank this. You don't want to do this normally. See how there's a circle here? Okay, so this is a 1-inch circle, and then this is a 1-inch circle. Now, if you don't want this circle here, you can just poke through a little hole and go through the base. I have found that it's harder to do that because that's a big piece of mat, but you can do whatever you want. Okay, now let me get this kind of mushed back together. Okay, so there we go. Okay, not too hard, right? So now what we're gonna do, so if you didn't want to have that circle, you would just poke straight through this with your pierce mat and whatnot, but I'm not doing that. Okay, but if you want to, I know a lot of people do that, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so we're gonna lay this on here. So you're gonna get this piece already embossed, cut, and ready to go. Okay, don't want to rub too much to get all that stuff flattened out, but hey, there you go. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my 1-inch punch. This is not Stampin' Up. We don't have one currently, so that's the why. So this is from another craft store. We won't name names, okay? So there we go. Okay, and ooh, that didn't go in right. Let me get that. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna get 2 of those. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my pierce mat. I'm like, where did it go? I put everything on top of it now. I can't see it. Okay, so we're gonna grab our pierce mat. Okay, and we're gonna grab our take your pick tool, and I'm just gonna put a hole in the middle and a hole in the middle. If you want to stack them and do them at the same time, you can. I found that I tend to poke harder, and then one of them has a bigger hole, so that's why I don't do that, but up to you. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some wire. What kind of wire is it? kind of thin. I'm trying to remember how much on the gauge, but it's so I can bend it easily with my fingers. Super, super easy. So you don't want to go much heavier than like a paper clip. Okay? Actually, about half that is what this is. All right, so your wire is going to be 4 to 5 inches. And I'm going to grab a wire snips. Okay? Cut that out. Quite literally. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to grab my tear and tape. This works beautifully. Love it. So I'm going to grab my tear and tape. Okay. And first and foremost, we're going to take your pick tool, and I'm going to wind my wire around this. Just that simple. Okay. If you want it tighter, go down where it's more narrow. It doesn't matter. And you can always tighten it up later. Okay. Like right now. Because I'm like, I want a couple more kinks than that, right? So there you go. Doesn't have to be perfect. So when I send you the kit, I'll have this on a window sheet and I'll have it flattened out. So all you got to do is kind of pull it up. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tear and tape. You're going to go just under an inch. And you're going to stick this through the hole. You're going to have to reshape it because you're playing with it. You're going to stick that through the hole. Okay. And you're going to put your tear and tape right over that wire. Do you see that? See that wire sticking out? So there's your first piece. Okay. Now I find it easier to do both of them right now, but you could do it later if you want. But personally, I find it easier to fiddle with it with the least amount of extra stuff glued on it. So if you mess up, you're not peeling off the card, but it's up to you on what you do. So we're going to thread this through, and we're going to glue this one down. Really kind of push along that wire. Okay. So there's that. And my wobble got kind of a little messed up, but it'll be all right. It'll still wobble. Okay. So that's the wobbler piece. Now, can you buy them on Amazon already done? Yeah, probably. Hey Iris, how are you? Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon already done. But I'll be honest with you, they're super cheap and super easy to make. Okay, so you want to make sure when you do it to just grab your tear and tape, so that way you can glue them down easily. Okay, and then you're going to peel the backing off, and you're going to stick it. Now, I find that the bunny is easier to stick and then place it where you want. So I probably should stamp the bunny, huh? All right, so I got a piece of basic white. I know all these things, right? So I got a piece of basic white. If we're stamping the same bunny as before, we're gonna stamp this little guy. Okay. And now I'm gonna clean my bunny. Okay. So we're gonna do that. Okay. And move my ink pad out of the way. Get that. All right, now what are we gonna say? It's a new day. Enjoy all the little moments. Easter treat. Have it. You're a friend like no other. Or hi. Well, we haven't done hi. Let's do hi. So we're gonna do hi. And I think we're gonna leave a little bit of room to dovetail so it can be seen because it's small. Okay. So you always want to clean, right? Gotta clean, gotta clean, gotta clean. I know. Sound like a mom or something, don't I? All right, so close this ink pad up, push over, pull, put it back over. Okay, Now we got to cut out this bunny again. And our words. Let's do this. Yes, I'm going old school. Okay. So let's see here. So let's cut this bunny out real quick. All right. So have you guys seen any movies lately that are good? Either on TV or in the theater? I'm at a loss. I've seen all the ones I wanted to see, and I'm kind of like, now what? That's where I'm at. Okay. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I love like suspense kind of stuff. I don't like the really romantic stuff, and I like historical stuff like Saving Private Ryan, and I like suspense stuff like was it Knives Out or whatever it's called? I can't remember right at the moment. Anyways, that kind of stuff. So, all right. So, I also like other stuff with lots of action and lots of cars, but there's nothing like that right now at all. So, at least that I've seen. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this. And I think that side is crooked. Looks to me like this is a little bit off. No, it's off the other way. Keep trimming, it'll be fine, right? Just like your bangs, huh? 1923. Haven't heard of that one. I'll have to look it up. Thanks, Pam. Let's see. So I'm just gonna chop a dovetail here. Have you guys done a dovetail before? Oh, that's a little crooked. Evidently all my stuff tonight's gonna be a little crooked. Okay, so go straight down the middle until you go where you want it to stop, unless you're known to be crooked, and then you might want to leave a little space to do it over. That tends to be some nights I either can nail it or it's crooked. That's close enough, because honestly tonight, okay. So there's my words. Now I'm going to grab my piece and I'm going to stick my bunny to it. This is my Wobbler piece. W-O-B-B-L-E-R, Wobbler. I know I don't necessarily say it great. So I say that because if you want to buy them, they are online. But to me, they're not hard to make for as many as I do. Now, if I was doing 200 of these, I'd definitely buy them. So yeah. I don't mind a little bit of love, Miss Pam. I just don't like the sappy romance stuff. And that's all there is. Unless there's like really good muscle cars or something like that to go with it. All right. So there's my bunny. There's my wobble. Okay. Ooh, I just flattened that guy out. See, you just gotta play and see how to straighten them. But see, there you go. Okay. All right. So let's get a-dimensional for this guy, because it's kind of short and sweet, shall we say, huh? The high. Okay. So we've got that, and we've got... It's too bad one of his paws wasn't up, huh? So we could go, hi, but that's okay. So that is what I have for you guys tonight. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I hope you liked them. Let's see if this guy will behave now. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. So I hope you guys liked them. Next week, we're going to be doing some shaker boxes and some other stuff. So that'll be fun. And I'm going to teach you how to make a shaker out of a negative out of a punch. So tune in for next week and follow me, stampinwithjohnny.com. The tutorial will be up tomorrow morning, 9:30 on the blog, stampinwithjohnny.com. Have a great evening and talk soon. Bye-bye.